Let's talk about Tony Ferguson. Now, it's tough because I made a similar video to this a week ago about Cowboy Cerrone. And Cowboy Cerrone, of course, has gone on his own losing streak. Tony Ferguson has now lost 3 in a row. He lost to Justin Gaethje. He lost to Charles Oliveira. And he's, of course, just lost to Beneil Dariush. Now, it's tough. I don't think he retires. He's just lost to 3 of the best lightweights in the world. But he definitely has to step back and take stock and think about what he's doing and where he wants to be and where he wants to go. It's not our place to really tell someone whether they should or shouldn't fight. But when you've lost 3 in a row and you think about the damage he took in that Justin Gaethje fight was scary at times. And even you remember the finish, he received that shot to the temple and something went in his head and he wasn't moving properly. He had to wave it off. It was horrible to see. Then you move to the Charles Oliveira fight where he didn't take a whole lot of damage, but he got mauled on the floor. And you like to think of Tony Ferguson as a 10th planet black belt and he's really good on the floor. And you remember he's submitting Kevin Lee and things like that with a triangle. There's levels. There's black belts and there's black belts. And Charles Oliveira is the latter. But even that arm bar just completely jacked his arm. And then you fast forward to Beneil Dariush, who I think won lots of tournaments at brown belt in jiu-jitsu, mauled Tony Ferguson on the floor again and caught him in that heel hook that's just jacked his knee. Just the damage that Tony Ferguson has taken in his last 3 fights. And he was never one of those fighters that didn't used to take damage before. He'd take damage in his fights. You know, he went on a 14-fight winning streak, I think, in the lightweight division before he lost his last 3. And he's been so unlucky with making the Khabib fight. I think they tried to make it 4 times. And then he tripped and pulled his knee on some wires. And just and he had problems at home. There are reports of this and that and odd things that were going on and people in walls and all sorts of weird stuff. But he is just fantastic and he's a fan favourite. And I don't think it's time for him to step away from the sport, but I think it's time for him to step down the lightweight division and start thinking about taking on slightly lesser fights or lesser ranked opponents and maybe try and build your way back up or put together a nice win streak or just make some more money beating people up. There's no shame in stepping back. Tony Ferguson I think he's 30, is he 36? Tony Ferguson is 37 years old. He's 37. He should be looking down towards the bottom of the lightweight division, or certainly outside the top 5, outside the top 10. You know, Beneil Dariush has just beaten him and jumped from 9th to 3rd, I think. So I don't think this is a retirement call. I think this is a Tony, take a step back, take some time off. Let's have a think about what you're going to do. But we all love Tony Ferguson. We love watching him fight. But what we don't love is his last 3 fights in the manner he's been beaten. It just shows that at this point in time, he is not a top 5 light heavyweight in the world.